Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is boy Johnny. Thanks for tuning in my channel. Um, Breaking down another Charleston White video this morning on Black youth and gang culture. Uh, and this one kind of touches home for me because I just recently um, got, well, I won't say got custody of, but my 15-year-old nephew just moved back to Kansas City. Super talented basketball kid, super talented. But his mom had moved to South Carolina, and he got up there, and he was there for maybe less than a year. Start hanging with the wrong crowd. They got shot at with twice. Kicked out of school, failed biology, smoking weed. And he not a bad. I used to watch Small Soldiers with this little kid when he was 2 years old for hours and hours and hours. But I seen what happened when he grew up and he had no influence. I had my daddy in my life, my whole life. So I never had to worry about following another man's lead or somebody leading me down the path. But to watch what's happening to my little cousin, I'm glad he's back in KC. I told him we have the goal is to have a 4.0 this school year. He's 11th grade. I want a 4.0 out of you. We can train in basketball 7 days a week. But if the grades ain't right, it don't matter how talented you are. But when I told him yesterday that you can go to Duke or KU or North Carolina or Florida State or Michigan State, his eyes lit up. Nobody ever spoke life into that young boy. And I'm sure most of our young boys that are dead or murdered or growing up in single parent homes, a lot of them aren't getting life spoken to them on a daily basis that you can be great, you can be successful. So I want to play this video of why these young boys are in gang culture, how they conduct themselves, and why they don't want to grow up to be men.
Why would I grow up and still represent that as a man? And I done that as a foolish boy. When I become a man, I put away my boyish ways, my boyish things. So what we have now is psychologically stunted and mentally retarded men who are trapped in a childhood boy value system.
And if you don't believe that's true, go look on Instagram around some guys that they're about 30, 35. Look at their pictures, look how they dress, look at the content that they share, and they go find a group of 16-year-old kids and look at their pictures, look at the way they dress, and look at the content that they share. Men haven't evolved. We're stuck as boys. I always say that's why they push rap culture at us. That's why the rappers, not the rappers, but the basketball players, if you notice how the basketball players are growing braids again. Braids was a thing when I was a kid. I was watching the Big Three yesterday, and I seen Shannon Brown still trying to hold on to his dreads and a few of these other guys. We still try to be young and cool forever. I didn't see Malcolm X trying to be hip still. I never seen Muhammad Ali or Martin Luther King or Huey P. Newton or Marcus Garvey. None of these people tried to fit into someone else's idea of what they should be. And we're so co-opted that this is black culture. This is black culture. This is white culture. This is some white executive up in a big office saying X, Y, and Z, this is how you need to carry yourself. And we sell our souls for money. And when we sell our soul for money, we're killing the whole generation under us. I'm in Kansas City. I remember the Fat Tone Mac Dre beef from KC to Cali. And I remember when Mac Dre got killed on 71 Highway, and it was crazy around here. I was probably about 16 years old. It was shootings on a nightly basis. Young kids. Hell, just yesterday up on Bannister, it was a triple shooting at a funeral home yesterday evening. A triple shooting at a funeral home. Now, and that's just here in Kansas City. I'm sure I ain't the only place where that's happened. I see it on the news in Texas and in Florida and Detroit and in Chicago. We got to value education and stop valuing our entertainers because the people we looking up to are leading us onto this life. A lot of people don't like Charleston White and the way he talked, but you need a man that's around to tell you you were killing yourself faster than any white society is going to come kill you.
Who can't outgrow it because they haven't attached themselves to no other identity that resembles manhood.
So, when you were 21 and you got out of jail.
And KRS One said that a while back. He said there is no men in hip hop anymore. It's all boys, and they keep it boys because the most dangerous thing is a black man. Remember when Malcolm X had 2,000-3,000 people show up at the police station in New York, and they said, "Oh yeah, this man is a problem." When you got power and you can move people not to be destructive, you're a threat to American society. That's why they're so okay with all of y'all following DaBaby. all y'all looking up to Jay-Z, because Jay-Z ain't really about to do nothing. Jay-Z and Puff Daddy complained for years and years and years about everybody getting these terrible rap contracts and young kids getting took advantage. Oh, come over to Rock Nation. We probably gonna take advantage of you too, but at least it's a black person taking advantage of you, not a white person. We need to look out for our young boys and give them real leadership, real education, diversify. Lawyers, doctors, accountants, policemen, firemen, plumbers, architects, engineers. If we could have a whole generation to grow up and not want to be rappers, I'd be so damn happy.
Yeah.
And you got out of jail, did you just reject the gang? How did you end your gang?
No, I started rejecting it in there, homie. I started seeing we all was faking.
And before I elaborate on that, I've never been to jail in my life. My dad has been to jail over 50 times. And when my dad set me down when I was about 14, 15, he said, if you don't want to go to jail, don't do stupid stuff. Simple as that. My dad never taught me to respect the fireman or the teacher. My dad taught me to respect people. You respect the janitor the same way you respect the cop or the CEO. My dad told me never to talk back to cops. Keep your hand on the wheel. Yes, no. If they acting like an ass, get the badge number, come home, we'll handle it. See, that's the benefit of growing up with a father is you get some real life guidance. Another thing my dad told me is don't ever, ever, ever be riding around with a bunch of dudes in your car. It was always me and my gym bag. And all of my friends that I know used to ride 4 or 5 deep was always getting pulled over by the police. Was always into it with some other dudes. Not because of the driver was into it with somebody, but one of the backseat passengers was into it with somebody and some car would pass and see them in the car and start shooting. I'm so grateful for my father and the advice he gave me. And it's my turn to spread that advice out to the world so we can save our young youth and get them to be 1,000,000 times better than what I am.
Yeah, I started seeing early on we all was faking. I just knew how to fake a little bit
All
better
faking.
than everybody.
And I say that because all of the dudes that I know that was dressed the best, mama's boys. Every dude that I know that kept the J's, that kept the fresh cut, that kept the gear, he was a soft mama's boy. And that's why he was so quick to pull the trigger, because he wasn't about to fight nobody and get hogged out. He knew he couldn't fight.
When you say faking, what you mean exactly?
We all was faking, homie. We really wasn't with that shit, homie. We were just boys who was angry. Nigga,
Yep.
mad because daddy wasn't there. Mad because mama's beat her. Mad because my mama was a crack addict or some niggas.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, man, nigga was faking. Soon as nigga got to the penitentiary, most niggas picked up a Bible when they got tired of gangbanging. Most niggas became Mohammed followers with the Quran.
AKA Malcolm X. That's where it happens. They really convince us young boys that we somehow here just need to be super tough and super strong and hog you out, cuz and mamas, I'll shoot the block up. No. That is so you don't have a future. That is so I can label you as a felon. That is so I can control you and shut you down in life where you can't become successful. We think being tough and waving guns is getting us somewhere. And all it's doing is keeping you in the same position so you can't advance.
425, now they got a full understanding what this shit'll do.
Right.
They don't want to go to jail for the rest of their life. Now they bag out. Shit, man. Them niggas in California, they kind of a little different with it. So I'm discovering this at 17 and 18 because I'm starting to see niggas saying, man, I want to go home, cuz I want to lay my flag down. So I started seeing, man, niggas really don't want to keep in mind, I told you I was trying to go to prison. Nigga, I was trying to go to prison.
It's crazy.
That's why I was elite with it. Cause at some point, them niggas start saying, man, I want to go home, cuz. And I kept talking about, nigga, if I gotta go to court tomorrow and I see this nigga, so you know I'm with it.
No.
But I was playing too.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was afraid to be rejected. Nigga, I just wanted to be accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
Now imagine how many people that we all know that are dead that wasn't tough. Shouldn't have been going out and in that shootout, but they went out because they wanted to be accepted. Think about how many people we know that are in jail. Not tough at all. Wanted to be accepted. When I was talking to my little cousin about the people that were shooting at him, I said they were some soft mama's boys, wasn't it? And he said, yeah, man, they were super soft. Didn't have no daddy just like I did. When you don't have somebody to teach you what masculinity is, to teach you conflict resolution, to teach you to think long term, you're going to self-destruct. The frontal lobe cortex of our brain isn't fully developed before 25. So before 25, we're all hyper impulsive. You add that with testosterone, you add that with a violent environment or the negative imagery on the music, and you have, gosh, that's a grenade ready to explode at any minute. You got to be okay. We as young black men got to be okay being ourselves. You don't have to be tough. You don't have to be gangster. I always say I'm covered in tattoos because of Lil Wayne. I saw Lil Wayne covered in tattoos on the front of Source magazine, and I said, oh, hell yeah, I want to look like that. Granted, I got lucky and never stopped me from getting a job. I was able to sign with an agent, pursue my modeling career and all that. But one thing that I never knew, wouldn't put no tattoos on my face. I just recently got tattoos on my hands and my neck because I didn't want any of them visible. I still wanted to be able to put on a long sleeve shirt and look presentable. Let's save our young black boys, man.
Yeah, nigga.
So much to the point that you overdid it almost.
Man, listen, I wanted to be accepted so bad. I was willing to kill and do whatever just to be accepted by somebody.
And you think that would probably be one of the biggest things behind gang culture?
Hell yeah.
Not gang culture.
Or just gangs?
But
Black
not
boys.
just gang culture. Boys and girls as humans, period. Everybody want to be accepted.
Man.
Thanks.
How many young girls you know that's riding around with the shooter because they ain't got no daddy? How many young girls that got pregnant because they didn't have a daddy to get them some guidance because they got out of school and their mama was at work, so they was at home by themselves, so they got took advantage of? A family structure was everything. My mama was on Section 8 my entire damn life, cuz. And I hated it, but as a grown man, it was perfect. When I woke up for school in the morning, I went to the bus stop. Mama was home. Got out of school at 2:15 in the evening. Mama was home. It wasn't none of that sneaking, playing, not coming home, going to girls' house. And that's all the way up until I got my car my sophomore year in high school. So after school, I started going to basketball practice and going home. But you know what? Mama was still there waiting. My mama wouldn't go to sleep until I came home, even on the weekends. So I didn't have that freedom. And as a kid, I hated it when all my friends could go do whatever they wanted. But the minute I walked in my house, my mom was, hey, boo, how was school today? What you learn? What you do? That was so irritating. It used to make me so mad. I mean, I'm so thankful for my mom. She passed away when I was 25 years old. She overdosed on opioids fatally. But I'm grateful for the mother that I had. I'm grateful for the father that I had. Because my mama didn't have to worry about. My mama never worked a job a day in my life. Because my father handled that business. My father went to work. My mama raised the kids. That's why I came out the way I did. I feel so sorry for these young boys. Like, man, I can't wait to get a job so I can help mom out. That's not your job. That is not your responsibility. And there's so many young boys that have to step up and be men at a young age. And I feel terribly for them. Terribly, because family structures are what control the outcome of the kids. And that ain't just white people. That ain't just black people. That's white people. Look at these white kids that's falling apart. Look at these white kids that's overdosing on drugs and all that. If you don't have a strong man to kind of help you stay balanced, unfortunately, we all know about the masculine and the feminine and the yin and the yang. We need offset. Not offset from the Migos. We need to offset our community. And we have a society that's leading people towards emotion and not logic, which is destructive.
Yeah, that's why every job you go on, you find your buddy in the break room. And you always have some friends on the job. Because everybody want to be accepted.
Luckily, when I got 18, I worked at AT&T, majority white. Left AT&T and went to Sprint, majority white. Left Sprint and went to Google, majority white. Left Google and went to a private school, majority white, and left private school to start my own company. See, the benefit is I grew up in an all-black environment, but I was always in the tech. So all of my jobs, I never got to work with black people. I never did the call centers or at 18 years old, I was slinging cell phones, selling internet and direct TV. Then I transitioned that to selling Sprint cell phones. And then I left that and went to Google Fiber and started taking computers apart and was able to upgrade from Google Fiber and work at the best private school in Kansas City and running their entire IT network. And this is a black kid covered in tattoos. So this idea that we can't be successful that's drilled in our mind, that never got in my head because I had my daddy. All my daddy ever said my whole life is, boy, I just want you to be better than me. I want you to be better than me. I want you to be better than me. So I never had time to get caught up in I can't do something because I'm black, or I can't do this, or I can't be that. I watched my daddy go to work every day. And my dad always said, I want you to be better than me. And I was like, I don't want to work on no damn cars. So I started working on computers and I can take a MacBook apart and put it back together. I can do whatever I want because of my brain. Not college educated either. But because solely I believed in myself and no one ever killed my confidence and my self-esteem.
And he been showering with other men. He been having people tell him when he can eat. How is he a man? And how can he stand amongst these men who ain't never left their children, who ain't never left their family, who married their woman and they take care of the family, and they're a positive force within them. How can you say you a man? No, nigga. And ain't none of us seen no man. How can any of us say we a man and all of us grew up with mama and grandmama and them?
Man.
We don't know nothing about no man.
So thankful
What's
for
a
my dad.
man? Get up and go to work every day? He got a supervisor on the job? He got a supervisor on the job telling them what to do and can fire him. That ain't no you. That's a man.
Right.
Getting up, going to work. Then when he get out of work with his supervisor telling him what to do, he go home to what his woman tell him what to do.
Yep.
Stop by the store and get this.
Yep.
Is that a man? It's Saddam Hussein that run a whole country. Is he a man? Is Hitler? What kind of man we know? The subservient man, homie.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know no rulers. We don't know no kings. So how can any gang member stand up and stick his chest out, nigga, please?
Right. You ain't no Malcolm X. You ain't no Alexander the Great.
Ain't none of us seen no man, homie. The women is stronger than us.
I will always say Malcolm X made it okay to be a man. You touch me, you're going in the dirt. That non-violent movement, much respect to Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement, that hurt us. Because my grandpa always had a shotty. Always had a shotgun. Always slept with a gun under his pillow. My great-grandpa, same way. They wasn't on that non-violent stuff. Now, they wasn't out looking for trouble, but they was you protect your home, you protect your environment, you protect your community. It wasn't none of this stuff fall back and let somebody else handle it. Just walk and march and protest and don't shoot. No, it wasn't none of that. That completely flipped us.
The woman with the bedspreads and the pillowcases and the sheets and the groceries in the cabinet. It's been working ever since she left her mama house.
Yeah, man. We our society is flipped and it's put a lot of women in a lot of bad spots. I'm gonna leave it there. I'll take on it is we got to stop having babies so young. I was a father at 20, so I'm not better than nobody. I'm not holier than thou. I'm just speaking from my life experience so people can make better choices. For me, becoming a father motivated the hell out of me, bro. Like, I mean, gosh, it sped me all the way up. My mom was like, well, you can't be buying them Jordans and putting rims on your car. And I said, the hell I can't. It just made me work harder. And I've been employed every day since I was 14 years old. And now I run my own business. But that doesn't happen without my father setting the stones and letting me know what I can and can't do in life. So I agree with him that a man that has to go to a work and have a supervisor and a man, that's why my dad pushed me to have my own. That's why my dad pushed me to create for myself and do for myself and build for myself. So I do not have to ask another man for anything. And I don't know if I get that understanding in life at such a young age if I don't have a father. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was 30. And after 30, I ain't ever working for nobody again in my life. And I am 32 and I haven't worked for anyone else in the last 2 years. So whatever ideas you put in your head, whatever you want to manifest, you could believe it. But once again, that idea came from having a man in my life. My mama didn't talk to me about retiring at 30 and taking care of myself. That was the last thing my mom would ever, you know what I mean? That just ain't logical. You don't hear many black boys say at the age of 30, I ain't ever working for nobody else. I'm doing it for myself. But that was my mindset. It always has and it always been. And I want to share that mindset with the rest of our young boys and girls. Everything that you need to be successful is already inside of you. No matter where you are, wherever position you are right now in this current moment, you have all of the tools you need to be successful. I promise. What are you going to do with those tools? And know your plan won't manifest tomorrow or the day after that or the day after that, but stick to it. Write it down. Get you a vision board. Gives you something to hold you accountable to getting to your goals. Every human that you see successful, they not no better than you. That big old house that Blueface got, you can have a house just like that too. That mansion that LeBron James got, you could have one of those too. That mansion that OJ Simpson is living in, fresh out of jail, you could have one too. Everything that we see in nature is available for all of us. There's an abundance of leaves and trees, so why would there be a shortage of money? Let's disconnect from the matrix. Let's save our youth, and let's realize that we all have $1 million roadmap inside of us. Let's pull that roadmap out, and let's get that million so we can look out for the generation up under us, so they don't have to go into the streets and gangbang, so they don't have to become teenage mamas. So they don't have to say, I got to grow up and I want to help mama with bills. Like I say, we always talk about our ancestors. Let's pay attention to our descendants because them are the people that need us. Let me know your comments below, man. Like, share, subscribe. Spread love, spread positive vibes. Like I said, it was a shooting yesterday. It was a double shooting in the morning. It was a triple shooting yesterday at a funeral home. I'm sure when I turn on the news today, there's gonna be more shootings. So just hug your family, man. Tell them to talk to each other. Avoid negative situations. Avoid negative interactions. Preach conflict resolution, because it's not cops out here gunning us down like this. It's us. So spread love, spread positive vibes.